Good morning from technically day 9 or day 2 in Seattle, whichever way you want to look at it. We are in the airport. We are in the hotel lounge having a little continental breakfast before we head over to Pike Place Market to start our tour today. So we booked through Viator a little kind of super touristy, all the key touristy spots tour called the Seattle City and Snoqualmi Waterfalls half-day guided tour. So it's going to take us to Pike Place, it's going to take us to the waterfalls, it's going to take us to a couple of other really interesting and super touristy sites, but it's kind of what you need to do. I think that there are too many people that, yes, I don't want to be a tourist. Sometimes you are going to be a tourist, and that is okay, because you want to see some of the cool stuff. It is also okay to come and just, stay for a week and do local stuff and check that out. But I definitely don't think that we are going to not have an amazing day. We're going to have some fun today, see some interesting stuff, and then I think after the tour, we're going to go back to Pike's Place and do like a more kind of self-guided, involved tour of Pike, and then that's really it. We have another cool dinner, and how I know it's cool, I told our waitress at last night's dinner where we're going to go for dinner tonight. She's like, oh, that's going to be good. It's very good. So I'm excited. It's a seafood specialty restaurant called Local Tide. But for now, we're going to get our day started. We're going to walk over to Pike Place Market from the hotel. Let's go. Day 9 or Seattle Day 2. So it was a very short walk, less than a mile walk from the hotel to Pike Place Market. We've met up with our tour guide. It was really easy to find it. It's right by the information booth, literally right in front of the big famous Pike Place Market sign. We are waiting for the rest of the group, and then we're going to get this tour started. It's going to be a pretty small group. So I'm one of those people that prefers a smaller group, even though I know we travel a lot on the cruises. I do like the excursions to be smaller group. I feel like you get a little bit better attention from the guide. You learn a bit more. You can ask a few more questions. The kids are acting like they're so tired. I think the cruise wore them out, but that's how you want to be when you're done with a fun vacation, right? So we're going to do an exciting tour. I'm excited. I'm like little kid excited because I love the city of Seattle, and I'm excited to see some of these interesting places I haven't been before.
My name is Terry. I was born on Terry Avenue.
No way.
It's true. I'll prove it later. Also, I'm 4th generation Seattleite, so you're getting a true local today.
So the first stop of Snoqualmi Falls was absolutely beautiful. A little bit shorter in height than Nugget Falls, where we were in Alaska, but great views. And I love the park. There's some sort of bike race today that we've been passing by as we've been going through these small towns outside of Seattle. But basically, so far, the way that the excursion has gone is we visited Snoqualmi Falls, and now we're headed to see some of the smaller sites back in Seattle. Okay, so we finished up the tour, and now we're going to do some walking around the market in the Pike Place Market, probably grab some munchies, and then we're just going to go have an early dinner. But you guys are going to see a little of the market before we head that way.
Like you stuck
Guys, the ocean's here!
finished up at Local Tide, and I gotta tell you, we are 2 for 2s on the dinner res for this trip. Man, so we got this salmon dip. You saw the name. I don't know the exact name of it. So good, so good. Definitely the hit of the trip. Here's how good it was. Chloe, the youngest, does not love seafood. In fact, like predetermines that she doesn't like seafood before she even tries it. And she said it was one of her favorite things of the night. Right?
Yes.
She loved it. The crab roll, really, really good. Everything was good. Everything was good. The only thing that wasn't maybe the biggest hit was just Griffin's personal preference. He got the salmon burger is what they call it, but the salmon is like cold smoked, kind of like gravlax, but like a whole piece of salmon. And he would not expect it to be cold, so I think he was disappointed. Anyway, so we were walking off a couple calories to eat a lot more calories with some gelato at a gelato place close to our hotel for some sweet treats. So we're gonna go get some sweets. We'll check in for the wrap up because that's gonna call it for today.
It is our last day here. We got up, everybody actually woke up pretty good today and headed down. There's a couple of different restaurants. There's a Vivian's Bistro, which is Asian. I'm not sure if it's sushi or what kind of Asian it is, but it's an Asian restaurant. And then we're in Alder Ash, which is just their kind of like American style restaurant where they have just, it's pretty basic generic breakfast. They have 2 options, an a la carte menu or a buffet style menu. So we're just grabbing a quick breakfast and then have a little bit late checkout in the hotel today so we can chill before we go. We got a very late flight, but we're going to check out Alder Ash because it's a very beautiful restaurant. It's really pretty, and have some breakfast. Going to wrap up the trip, and the first thing I want to do is let you hear from a couple of the kids. Of course, the teenager is teening, so she doesn't want to participate, but let's hear from Griffin and Chloe about some of their favorite things of the trip, and then I'll kind of recap the overall trip.
My favorite activity on the ship was probably the Family Fun Festival, I think is what it's called. So it was in the Seaplex, and there was just, in that middle area, there was a bounce house, and there were a bunch of fun activities. And then my favorite thing in Seattle was going to the aquarium. And it was all really cool, and we saw sea otters and like sea lions and seals. It was really fun. And then my favorite thing I ate was, the salmon dip in Local Tide. And my favorite excursion was the sea otter excursion.
My favorite thing on the ship was just the Seaplex overall. There were games in the Xbox station, there's Call of Duty, Fortnite, Gang Beasts. So my favorite thing in Seattle was, and my favorite thing overall, was the Seattle Aquarium. There were sea otters, sea lion. Wait, no, there weren't sea lions. There were sea otters, seals, jellyfish. There was an octopus, and the seals were doing tricks and getting fed, and the sea otters were just really cute. There was also river otters, so that was really fun. And my favorite food overall was probably the herb-crusted salmon in the main dining room.
I think the first big takeaway is Griffin and Chloe both are like me and loved the aquarium. The aquarium was a huge hit for the family, so I would definitely say that I highly recommend, if you guys are out and have some time, checking out the aquarium. I think overall the stuff to do in Seattle that's touristy is a blast. I thought the Space Needle was awesome. I love Chihuly. I love Pike Place Market. All of that stuff. Really, really fun. The two places we ate in Seattle, Bateau and Local Tide, I cannot recommend enough. Cannot recommend enough. So good. The mushrooms at Bateau and that salmon dip at Local Tide, super big hits. So I would say check those out. And then we're just going to kind of work our way back to the beginning of the cruise. Victoria, British Columbia surprised me a ton. It is a beautiful, beautiful city. Great city to walk around in and check out. The tea at the Empress Hotel in Victoria was incredible. It is pricey, but I would say if you want a very regal experience, then that is something to do. The food was really good. Very delicious tea. The hotel itself, if you don't want to do the tea, I would still say get there, walk around, check it out. It's beautiful. Bard and Banker, we had an overall good experience. The food was okay. The restaurant itself is really lovely, really beautiful. Then working our way back, I liked the excursion in Skagway. The boat was big and there was room, but I would say I would probably prefer a smaller group and a smaller boat so that it is easier to get and see the wildlife. We did see a lot of different wildlife, but we didn't get to see it well. But I know that's not a guarantee. Overall, good excursion. Sitka, White Pass Trail train ride, beautiful. Gosh, I can't recommend it enough. It is a really beautiful way to see the mountains and the trees, and then you get up into Canada and there's the ice and the snow. Only criticism, we're going to do some positives, we're going to do some negatives. The windows on the train can get foggy, so that was the only fuss. I don't really have anything negative to say about the excursion in Juneau. I thought Juneau was the sunset whale watch and culinary excursion was awesome. The food was really good. That salmon dip was good. So I would absolutely highly recommend that excursion if you want something to do in the evening. The ship itself, Anthem of the Seas, is a great ship. Quantum class ships are still, I think, my favorite. I know that I didn't do a really great job of showing you some of the pool areas and some of the outdoor stuff because it was colder and we kind of stuck to a few of the areas. I think I showed you the main venues that you'd spend time with anyway. But if you are in Alaska, other than if you want to do the inside passage, which you have to do on a smaller ship, I would recommend a Quantum class ship if you can get on one. And overall, really good. Oh, I will say one more thing. The Sheraton Grand Hotel in the Four Points. Four Points was great. Small hotel, less expensive. I did not film on the morning that we left, which I normally do, because the lobby was all packed out with people leaving to go on the cruise, and it wouldn't have been very watchable footage for you guys. But it is in a very cool location over by the complex where the Space Needle and the Pop Art Museum and all that stuff is. So it is a good location. I love, though, the Sheraton Grand. Great location. Very close walking distance to Pike Place Market. Close walking distance to some restaurants and all that kind of stuff. But the hotel itself is quite lovely, quite beautiful. And we have been treated incredibly well by the guests. The only real negative was this morning at Alder Ash. the hostess, who I later found out was actually the general manager of Alder Ash, was incredibly unpleasant. Our server was awesome. The restaurant itself is lovely. The food was okay. Not stellar, not terrible, just okay. But that was the only weird experience. And you would expect, I would at least think, that the general manager would be, I don't know, a little bit better composed. But she was pretty terse, and not just with us, with a lot of customers. It was weird. But I don't want to wrap up the video on that with something negative. So overall, again, I would say, I hope that you guys have got some good ideas about excursions and stuff to do if you are in Alaska and Victoria and Seattle. We've had an absolute blast. Seattle is an incredible city. Victoria, incredible. And we even loved the Juneau and Sitka. I think maybe Skagway was the only one that is really skippable. So if you have a Ketchikan versus a Skagway on your trip, I would say do that. Yeah, so that's it. That's a wrap for our Alaska trip. We will see you guys in the next series.